Hello, you guys. It's been too long. This is the T-Max HD here, and I wanted to talk a bit about two things. First of all, why I've been absent from YouTube for about a week, and also something interesting that happened with me during that period of time. But first, let's get to the first subject, why I was gone. My laptop literally fried on the day after exams, and it was terrible. I came home after finishing my physics final, my exam in that regard, and it was a fairly easy exam. I ended up scoring an 85 on it, so I'm proud of that. But I came home and I went on my laptop, started working fine. I tried to get a little bit of gameplay to upload for you guys, and the showdown I had as well for on a project file that I was going to render for Tuesday, I believe, was when I was planning to upload it. But then I turn it on 5 minutes later after all of this, and it just won't start up. Windows will not turn itself on and get things going, so I ended up trying to restart my computer a couple times and trying to figure things out, but it did not work. There was nothing that was getting this computer to work at all, so I ended up talking to my uncle about it, who is a major tech genius, I'd say. I'm not going to call him a nerd because he probably saved my life, or has saved my life at this point, but he took a look at it and told me the hard drive was completely shot, meaning that anything on there probably was not salvageable. So right now I don't know whether or not everything that's on my hard drive on the old computer is even going to be able to, I'm even going to be able to get it back, which would be terrible because of the fact that I have the whole FOD showdown on there, episode 2 part 2. I have the whole commentary of it on there. I have a bunch of gameplays and GBs on there. So if I can't get those back, then I might have to do them post-commentary or not live commentary like I originally intended. But that's besides the point there. I'm just happy that I have it back now and I can start uploading again. Especially since when you go away for a little while, and even sometimes it's better to just have a little bit of a break just for the sake of getting used to life. But I've started up working again, and I'll move into this other topic about the title of the video, how my boss, I had to treat him like treat her like a regular patron at my pool that I work at. So I'll get into that right now. For those of you who probably don't know, most of my subs I play with a little bit, and if I don't, then pop me a friend request and I'll chill out with you a little bit. I always enjoy playing with subs on Xbox Live, but I work as a lifeguard and a swim instructor at a pool in my city, so I go there and I guard all the patrons and all the people who are there, and I teach I teach all the young guys and some of the people who are trying to rise up into becoming lifeguards themselves. And I like to say that the position, like the job, is not that boring, but guarding is fairly boring, and teaching itself has to be like when you're teaching the really young guys, like preschool, it really requires a lot of energy. So it's a kind of a balance. It's nice to have a bit of a balance between the two, so that I can have moments when I have to be really active and moments when I have to be sort of just chilled and relaxed and focused on one thing at a time. But anyway, moving on to the story. My boss is a very nice lady. Her name is Cindy. She just became actually our program coordinator a little while back. She's incredibly nice and always accommodating to the things that the staff want, and always open to new ideas in terms of how we can revolutionize the pool experience. Because guys, it's a pool. I mean, like, what can you really revolutionize about it? But we recently had an in-service, and I was informed at this in-service that I would be teaching some preschool and some guarding classes all over the course of summer. So this whole week, from Monday through Thursday, or Monday through Friday it will be, because I'm doing this commentary Thursday, I've been teaching, and I've been teaching and guarding and trying to get a bit of money under my belt so that I can afford a car or maybe some new content for you guys, maybe a new microphone, even though I do like this microphone a lot. But I was informed at this in-service that my boss, Cindy, would be in one of my classes for preschool with her child, and I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. I guess I don't know what I'm going to do then with how I treat her, because we're supposed to treat every parent the same, but would you, if you were teaching your boss, or if you were serving your boss, say you work at like McDonald's or something, and I mean this is completely different in terms of how you react, but I'm teaching my boss swimming lessons, or the child of my boss swimming lessons, and I have to literally do a 30-minute little teaching session with her and one other parent in this class, because it's in a class where people are they have their own child about under 3 years old, and they go and we play some games in the pool, and we just help them get used to the pool and all that. And even though like going back to McDonald's suggestion, like with McDonald's, if you serve your boss at the front, then you're obviously going to try and do your best, right? You're going to make yourself look really good for them because you're going to treat them specially. Like, you can't get that pretext out of your mind that they are your boss. Like, you can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to treat them like a normal person, but you know in the back of your head that that's your boss, so you have to do extraordinarily well for that sake. But whereas with serving your boss at McDonald's, for example, it's like a quick little serving check. You give them what they want, and then it's all good to go in sort of a casual manner. But when you're teaching them with a young child like my boss is, who is a very nice child, definitely, and nice to, not as active in the water, but I mean, he doesn't always listen, but he of course, I have to treat him very nice, right? That's one thing that makes it a bit difficult, because a lot of the time I try and help the parents that don't have like the greatest kids and all that, like not every kid's going to listen 100% and obey their parent at that age. I mean, it's not expected, right? So basically I was trying to get through the class without making myself look like an idiot and making myself look terrible, because what the pretext for that whole her being in my class thing is that she called me a teaching god and said she wanted to be in one of my classes. Apparently, that's at least what I heard from some of the other staff members there. And found the pool I work at isn't necessarily like a serious tight run place. It's pretty chill. We have parties, and we go out and go to the bar after a while at the end of the lessons and all that, and we have a good time. But it's not a serious laid down, like we don't always expect like the greatest from our instructors. We just want people to have fun and to do a decent job at teaching, and I apparently went above and beyond in terms of teaching the parents in my really young class. So it was apparently it was not even a choice for her. She just figured instantly that she would take me. And so I was teaching her, and her child, I'm not going to say his name obviously, but Cindy's child, my boss's child, is 18 months, and his favorite word that he's developed is the word no, because I'm assuming he knows that word represents some form of power by saying that word, and it seems like the most common word that I hear from him a lot of the time, but that is perfectly fine, and it sucks at the same time because I have to react to it, and when I have to react to a kid who does not want to play and does not want to get in the water, then it's kind of interesting even with the parent, like with my boss. I don't think she expects me to do anything necessarily, but I try to get as active as possible, and it's worked out so far for the 3 days I've been teaching so far, because I work this afternoon, so I haven't done 4 days yet. But for the 3 days I've been doing it, he's been okay, and he's enjoyed himself with a lot of the activities we've been doing, so that's a nice thing. But my boss is always, I try to treat her like a normal parent, but it's not as easy as that, like I said before. So after this whole thing is over, I'll probably be a bit more happy. But a funny thing too, I actually taught one of the other coordinators too in a TOTS class, a really young class that I did not realize was a coordinator. So I was like, oh, I looked at the board of people who work here on my in the staff lounge, and it ended up that it wasn't a program coordinator, it was one of the aquatics coordinators had been in my TOTS class, and I did not realize it, and I was like, oh crap, I probably should have treated them more so paid a little bit more attention and gave them a good old Mountain Park greeting, so I don't know, maybe that was, it probably wasn't, I shouldn't prioritize with people. But anyway guys, the gameplay's closing down. Got the MOAB, but I don't get to call it in because we had the double, so Well, I did get to call it in, but don't get the actual kills. But regardless, thanks so much for being patient, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to be recording a lot more content for you guys over the next few days and weeks, because I've got this week and then next week of work, and then I'm completely done. I'll be out of the whole thing, and I'll be able to completely upload all day, every day. So thanks so much, guys, and peace.